Hey everyone, it's Mari and I'm back today for the Scrapbook Nerd online store. And I have a project here today that has a winter theme for our theme week this week. And I'm going to be using some papers and different bits and pieces from the Cabin Fever collection from Carta. And I'm just showing you here that I'm going to be using this really great paper here for my base. And I'm going to take a strip of paper from the paper strips sheet, and I'm going to use that strip at the top of my layout as a starting point. I'm actually going to cut a couple of strips off of that paper, one with snowmen on it and one with snowflakes. The snowman strip is wider and the snowflakes is navy and a little bit narrower. And so you can see that at the top of my wood grain paper here. And I've just got a die cut there in a circular shape that's up at the top. I'm just kind of auditioning it in that spot there to see if that's where I want it. Now I'm going to take the photograph that I'm going to be scrapping here today. This is a 3.5 by 3.5 black and white photo. I'm going to, just to start work on the mat for the photograph using this piece of red paper from the 6x6 pad. Now I do end up using a lot of that 6x6 pad in this on this project, and I really do love having a 6x6 pad from a collection to work with because they're really great and versatile for a lot of different things, especially for matting your photographs. So I actually just took and tore a rough edge at the bottom of the photo, and I decide later that I want that to be a straight cut edge, and I don't show you on camera, but I do end up just trimming that with my scissors later and just to straighten it out. Now I am going to go back to that 6x6 pad and choose a few other papers for layering, for creating this mat again. And when I go in there, I find this little treasure that's a die cut that I created using I think it was a Pretty Pink Posh die or something like that. I'd cut this for a card project, but I ended up not using it, and I love that plaid paper. So I'm going to use that as a layer behind my photo, and I'm going to just stick that down with some liquid adhesive. Now I took another paper from the 6x6 pad that's that navy with the snowflakes on it, and I just cut it into the shape of a tag, and I'm going to use that as a layering piece behind my photograph here as well. So that's really easy to do if you just trim down your 6x6 paper into a strip and then just cut the two corners off and you have a tag. It's super easy to do. Just cut a little hole in that with my hole punch, and I'm going to, like I said, layer that behind my photograph. So I did want to just bring a darker paper into those photo layers so that, you know, it just stands out and kind of brings a little bit of attention to that photograph there a little bit more, draws your eye to the photo and creates that focal point, which is absolutely what you want to do. You want your photograph to be the focus of the layout, obviously. So I'm just going to trim that snowflake paper behind the photo down a little bit so that it's a little bit of a smaller mat and a smaller layer. I'm going to just trim that up, and then I'm going to decide that I want to straighten that out with my cutter, and you'll see me just do that quickly here. So I'm liking how this is coming together so far. When I started the layout, I knew that I wanted those strips at the top of the layout, but I really didn't know what else I wanted to do for sure with the rest of my design. So I'm just kind of working through it as I go. Now I'm going to just start to stick some things down here, and I'll get these different bits and pieces adhered. I wanted a little bit of that tag sticking out the bottom and of course the top, and so I've just made it large enough so that it would do that, so that it actually is a layer from above the photo and below it. I like how that looks. I'm going to just take a little bit of my foam tape and I'm going to pop this piece up a little bit just to give it a little bit of dimension off of the layout. And then I'm going to do a little bit of layering in behind this as well. And so that just because this is popped up a little bit, it just looks a little bit better instead of everything being completely flat once I start layering some things in behind that as well. Now I did purchase the die cut pack for this collection, and it is gorgeous. There's also a tags pack that goes along with the die cuts as well, so you can get the ephemera die cut pack as well as the tags. the frames and tags. I'm going to be using bits and pieces from both of those little packs, and they're perfect. I love having those for layering when I'm using a collection. And you can see that I've used 3 of those pieces in behind at the top there in some of the different coordinating colors from the collection. Now I'm also going to just take my different circle punches and create a little reinforcement for the hole in the tag. This is super easy to do, and that way you can always create a coordinating reinforcement. I do this all the time in my December daily album, and you'll probably be seeing me do more of that again this year in my December daily series. So I'm going to start thinking about what else I want to do with that area up there in the top left. And I've got the dimensional stickers as well from the collection, which are also really adorable. And I'm going to coordinate some of those pieces up there at the top with that circle. So just kind of keep that circle theme going there. Now what I did was I took my favorite things stitched rectangle stacks, and I created a little journaling area for just to the left of the photo mat, and I just cut that using some of that 6x6 paper there as well. Now I also took a little die from Simon Says Stamp that says hello, and I cut that from some of that red paper, and just to create a little phrase there and to start to create a little bit of a title. I end up changing that for some navy later. I cut that hello out in the navy snowflake paper just because I thought there was a little bit too much red there going on. So that is a little chipboard sticker from the chipboard sheet, that little snowman, and it's probably my favorite thing on this whole layout besides this photo of Jordan, which I obviously love a lot, and it's just really super cute. I was going to use this phrase sticker from word sticker from the sticker sheet, but I end up not using it. I don't know, it just didn't feel right. I couldn't really find a place that I loved it, so I ended up not using it. But now that I'm watching this back, I'm thinking, yeah, it would have worked. It would have been fine, but for some reason I decided not to use it. The great thing is I can always go back and add that in now that my layout's finished. So the sticker sheet for this collection is adorable. There are so many really awesome bits and pieces to this collection, and that sticker sheet is definitely one of them. So I'm going to not use this particular one, but there are a ton of really sweet ones on there. I end up using a sticker from that sheet that is a little sled, and you'll see that with the finished layout. I use it down by that little chipboard snowman. So these are cardstock stickers. They're really quite thick actually, and I love them. They're gorgeous. Now I'm going to just use some of these enamel stickers that are the snowflakes here and there around the layout. I end up using 3, and I switch them out a little bit here just so that until I get the colors situated in the spot where I want them. I wanted that kind of beige colored one to go up at the top eventually, and I'll put it up there. And then I'll put the navy one at the bottom and the red one up at the top on the right side. So I'm going to use those as little accent pieces as well, like I said. And I'm going to use just a couple of other little chipboard pieces from the Brad sheet just to embellish a couple of other little areas. I'm going to use some Heidi Swap Color Shine in navy to do some splatters here. You could use any, any kind of ink splatter that you have in your stash. It doesn't obviously have to be Heidi Swap Color Shine. It can be anything. I just like that, and I have quite a bit of that in my stash, quite a bit of the Color Shine because I love it. It's gorgeous. And so I am almost going to be finished here. I'm going to do a little bit of journaling here just to document what this photo is about. This is just showing Jordan with his GT sled, and he absolutely loved that thing. He had so much fun on that as a kid. We have so many great memories, and you know what, I don't write a really long journaling thing here. It's pretty short, but I have, and I know Jordan does too, really vivid memories. And I know that looking at this layout and seeing his GT again and just a little bit of journaling I've done will bring back a flood of memories for him for sure. You can see I've added a couple of other little things, some cord in my tag, and you can see I added that little cardstock sled sticker and a little phrase sticker there as well by the snowman. And that's it. Make sure you check out the Scrapbook Nerd online store. I'm going to leave a link to the shop in the description below. They have a lot of amazing supplies, including the Cabin Fever collection, and it is awesome. I want to say I love it. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you another time. Bye-bye.